Western Mass News has found COVID-19 testing has significantly declined here in the Bay State despite both the Delta variant and summer cold spreading. Some don't feel the need to be tested for the coronavirus if they've been vaccinated. But is that concerning? Western Mass News reporter Kaylee Puglisi is getting answers to that question from local health experts. She joins us now live in Springfield with more. Kaylee?
Well, Jordan and I spoke with a resident who says he just recovered from what he believes was a cold, but because he's fully vaccinated, he and his doctor decided he didn't need to be tested for COVID-19.
Lots of fever, loss of appetite, some stomach discomfort, diarrhea.
Holyoke resident Jesse Rivera recently had cold-like symptoms. He's been fully vaccinated for about a month now, so he and his doctor didn't think a COVID-19 test was necessary when he felt sick.
I felt like it, but I don't think there was any need for it because the symptoms were commonly more like cold symptoms.
Data from the State Department of Public Health shows earlier this year in January after the holidays and in March after spring break, there were as many as 130,000 tests administered on a given day. On Wednesday this week, there were just under 32,000 tests reported. Western Mass News spoke with American Medical Response spokesperson Patrick Pickering about the COVID-19 testing site over at the Eastfield Mall, and he says the number of tests there have drastically decreased.
In the middle of the winter, we had some days that were in excess of 1,000 tests per day. We're doing just over 200 tests per day right now.
But recently, between the Delta variant of the virus and the summer cold season, it's been picking up over the last 2 to 3 weeks.
We're seeing an uptick in respiratory and flu type responses for 911, and so I think people are concerned that is it flu or is it COVID?
Positive cases of COVID-19 are increasing across the country. Western Mass News is getting answers from immunologist Dr. Jonathan Bayek on when you should get tested.
It's not recommended to go get a COVID test if you've been exposed to somebody who has COVID, if you've been fully vaccinated. So that's going to be a lot of people that don't go.
He tells Western Mass News it doesn't make sense to test everyone every time they feel sick unless their symptoms are severe. He says the likelihood of contracting COVID once you're vaccinated is very low.
If you're not vaccinated, it's exactly the same as it was in the beginning of 2020. There's nothing different about it. We do have treatments for COVID, but they're not that great. It's just as bad.
Coming up at 6 on Western Mass News, hear a little bit more about what colleges and universities here in Western Mass are going to be requiring routine COVID-19 testing and which ones are still planning for the fall. But for now, live in Springfield, Kaylee Puglisi for Western Mass News.